Singing in schools, after suffering a period of relative decline, is finally back on the agenda, with a vengeance. My name is Howard Goodall. I'm a composer and a broadcaster, but some of you may also have read about my being appointed by the government to head up a new initiative to get many more young people singing in schools again. Not just for a hand-picked few 20 minutes a week, but for all the children and their staff. The government wants to encourage singing to become a normal and integrated part of the school culture.
I'm really now guiding them quite specifically to giving me a lesson plan for next time, making sure that the activities they've chosen very, very carefully to demonstrate to me that they have an understanding of why we're doing this and why we're singing the songs and what's in it for the kids. Both the group in terms of curriculum learning and the individual in terms of their own personal development.
Okay, let's just do the first three verses. The first one we know that was not that night but the night before, step back, stay with, step back. The other one was 24 robbers at my door. The third one was open up the door and let them in.
Halfway through the 10-week trial period, and opinions about the Voices Foundation are varied.
There are a couple of children in my class who've been particularly affected in a good way. They're children who tend to be quite shy and they tend to be quite reluctant to put themselves forward to do something in front of a big group, a large group of children. And they seem to have grown in confidence. They certainly are smiling a lot more and they're really enjoying the sessions.
For me, one of the most useful things was Susie talking about angel voices, which really was about the pitch. Which for me was important because I'm quite low. But I love the way the children responded to that idea of actually becoming a singing voice. And that's what we've taken on from there.
So while some of the teachers are seeing the benefits very quickly, others still have reservations.
I think, to be honest, when the programme first started, I did honestly think, here's another scheme, here's another sort of flash in the pan, let's put a plaster over the whole situation and try and find a quick fix way of doing something that we know we should be doing but don't have time for. And I still think that there isn't that much time in the school day, unfortunately, to fit in a lot of these brilliant ideas and these brilliant schemes. Though I will say for this thing, I did use the book and I did try to use the CD and it's worked. The kids really enjoyed a song I did with them. Now, I don't think I did it 100% the way Susie might have done. I did use some of the tactics that she used and the children really enjoyed it. So it does show that the children really enjoy singing, but that's kind of something we probably already knew anyways. It's just whether that we can fit that into our zillion of other things we have to do with them.
Attempt to justify the two with the teachers here. Do you think you might spend some time with the teachers doing that?
Yeah, I think so. It's not something that we've addressed yet, actually.
Yes.
At the end of every Voices programme, there is always a singing day. Susie believes it forces the teachers to focus on their development. She's in school today to discuss plans with Year 6 teacher and school music coordinator Abby Thorpe.
And they're doing it regularly.
Okay, so one of the big things we've got to address today is the singing day, which everyone's going to be absolutely terrified about. But in fact, it's a very, very important and valuable form of inset for the teachers. So basically, in singing day, every teacher is going to be demonstrating a little bit of the skills that they have acquired and the class have acquired in a sort of curriculum context. So, and the whole of the school is going to be watching. Singing day is a really big deal for all the teachers. It normally takes place after a year, but here we've got it after 10 weeks. So the teacher's going to be very nervous. The children will love it and the whole school will benefit from it enormously. But the teachers will be extra specially worried, particularly if they haven't been doing this regularly up till now. The key thing is your choice of songs and why you've chosen those songs.
Susie wastes no time moving on to the final phase of the 10-week programme at the next inset day.
I would suggest each class has about 7 minutes. So I would say about 3 songs. And if you could cover in those when you may choose to demonstrate the children's ability to control pulse, to control rhythm, to differentiate between pulse and rhythm, working in groups, a lot of individual singing, call and response games. Individual singing is an incredibly good way to get children matching pitch. As we're having the singing day after just 10 weeks, we're having to really speed up the learning process for the teachers. So now we have the pitch language, we have the rhythm language, which is the ta, te, te, ta, rest. And now we're showing how that very logically moves on to the 5-line stave. Off you go, ti, 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 ta.
With the singing day just 2 weeks away, Susie keeps up the pressure, and she has one more session with each teacher before the big day.
It's quite a delicate balance now, because I'm now watching what the teachers have achieved, and I've got to go in there and really raise expectations. And we'll do the canon while they do the ostinati. We'll just find something more interesting for him to do, because he's obviously a skilled percussion player.
Having something like Singing Day is sort of a bit of pressure, but it's good because it means that we have to practice and we know we've got something to work towards, and I think the children quite like knowing that the songs that we're practicing are fun, but they're also for a purpose as well.
Who could I have to come and mark the pulse gently on this drum so that we can hear the lovely singing as well?
Okay, if I give you the drum and the beater, Finn's going to go around. Wherever he stops, that person's going to be the witch next. Do you know what? They're so enthusiastic about it. You even had one of the kids name their budgie Susie after singing Susie.
And even Carl has been making headway.
I had a real enlightening moment last week with the course, in that I actually took the folders home and read through them and worked out exactly how they worked, which is not something that's ever been done with me. I don't know if it's because I missed the early bit, that I just didn't understand where we were going with things. And what I found we were doing was we were trying to find a song and then fitting the musical elements to that song. And quite often the song didn't fit the musical elements we were trying to teach. As soon as you realise to do it the other way, then it all fits beautifully into place.
Now, I have no doubt in my mind that what I will be demonstrating with them, they can do. That is why I'm doing it. I don't want to demonstrate anything which I think is beyond their grasp. But that can't happen unless they're going straight back into the classroom and practicing what we've just practiced.
But Susie's new sense of urgency hasn't been a hit with all the teaching staff. Some are finding her a little overwhelming.
The thing is, they don't know when to put the stick down. So what the best way to do is a few practices: lift, play. They're not going to do it this way. So, okay, we need to know when to put the stick down.
I'm very aware when I'm teaching of if I make any mistakes, and to have somebody watching you when you know that you're making those mistakes is really tricky.
I just needed to kind of bump them up into a different zone. It's very yes. Okay, but a lot of it is attitude. Because he was all slouched over and, messing around to start with. And as soon as I got into that zone, right, guys?
I do feel a bit deflated after that session, and I'm not really looking forward to the singing day at the moment. But we'll continue to practice each day, and hopefully we'll continue to improve.
Busy, I think, is the way to describe it. But I think everybody's under control, the teachers have got their programmes, the hall's all set, so it's all systems go.
It's the end of the 10-week trial. Singing Day, in front of parents, governors and half the school, is finally here. But how do the staff feel now it's all almost over?
It's been a real sort of roller coaster 10 weeks.
After a while, I wasn't quite sure where it was heading and what we were supposed to be doing. But I've now seen the children singing to each other regularly without any prompt from adults. I've seen them growing confidence in their singing, Some of them have found really lovely singing voices for the first time. I've never heard them sing like that before.
My confidence has grown enormously. For a start, I don't avoid music anymore. I actually do music.
This is a very special day because you've all been working really hard with your classes to learn some songs and learn all sorts of things about music. And today you're going to show everyone what you've been learning. So, ready to sing, and we're going to start off with Gold Class. We've focused on music several times in the past, and it's never really been sustainable. And teachers have gone on teaching children to sing songs, but I don't think they've taught children music. The thing that was really quite striking about this programme was the way children absorbed musical concepts in a way that I haven't noticed they've done with any other music inset that we've done in the past.
Try moving our hands up and down to that. Are you ready? Off we go. Seesaw, up and down, in the sky and on the ground. Lovely. And are you ready to mark the pin?
There are 14 classes at Morley, and during the day, each one comes forward to perform.
There were people who, if you'd said to them 6 months ago you were going to stand up and sing with your class, would have said, not me, I'm going to leave first. And they did it, and they were really good.
It's made me feel a lot more confident about teaching singing. It's made me realise that I can do it, that I'm not completely tone deaf, that I'm not completely tone dumb, that I can hold a note, even if my year sixes end up singing very low.
So, despite the almost inevitable ups and downs over the 10-week trial, both the Singing Day and the Voices programme are a success. And at the end of the project, some good news. The school and the Voices Foundation are match funding the cost of a full year's singing course. And head teacher Jenny is very optimistic about what that means.
One of the claims made right at the beginning was about the way that it would increase the social cohesion and the self-esteem of children. And I was very sceptical about that, particularly in whether we could do it in 10 weeks. But teachers have already reported to me that some children have really blossomed and have come out of themselves after following this programme. And I think that is quite startling. And also one of the parents after the singing day came up and said, I can't believe my daughter sang in front of all those people by herself. So if you can do that after 10 weeks, it'll be interesting to see what happens after a year.